Hello. I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you've had a good week. Um, I'm going to start this week very, very simply by talking about my nice new chair that I'm sat in. I've got to be honest, it is absolutely fantastic. It is so comfortable, it's unreal. It's given me the opportunity to do things a little bit differently in terms of how I set myself up. I'm actually holding my microphone for once rather than having it on its stand because I can sit a bit more comfortably doing it like this. I'm sat, relaxed, chilled. It is really nice, very, very comfortable. And yeah, I'll be fair. I'm going to tell a little story about my chair. Um, we went to our one of our local stores, and as we was walking round, I had no intention of picking up a new chair, but I'd been speaking to Lisa recently quite a bit, saying all this stuff I'm doing. And I'm sat in my chair. I mean, it's my old chair. It was my office chair from when I was at work. 12 hours a day, 4 days a week. The thing had probably had the life taken out of it. I'm going to be honest with you. Um, so as we're walking around the shop, I started looking at them, and I'm thinking I probably should replace my current one. I'm going to be honest. I probably should. And I found one that I really liked. So comfortable, absolutely lovely it is. Um, and I kind of convinced myself to buy it, and I'm going to be straight. It was £259 in the shop. This chair. As I was walking round, I sort of talked myself into it. Spoke to Lisa, and yeah, it was all good. It was all good. I'm going to buy my chair. And when I went and spoke to the member of staff, bless him, really nice, polite chap, explained that I can order it. It's not a problem, but their ordering system was down and I couldn't guarantee how long it was going to take for me to actually get my purchase delivered. So I thanked him and walked away without buying. And Dad then gave me the advice to have a look online. So I did while we were still driving away. Again, I will say I wasn't playing on my phone while I'm driving. I don't drive. But as we're going through, I found it online significantly cheaper. And when I say significantly cheaper, it was £205. What a result. Honestly, what a result. So before we'd even got home, the order had been placed and my chair was coming. Couple of days, bosh, job done. I'm now sat on it. And yeah, it's comfortable. And I'm going to be honest, one of the things I've mentioned, and I'm going to mention it again, from my point of view, I can't go out to work anymore. So what I'm looking at doing, spending a lot of time streaming computer games, and just keeping myself ticking over. So I've started doing that. It's begun. I'm doing it. I'm spending a lot of time out here, and I'm going to call it my studio now because it is as good as. So yeah, I mean, I need a comfortable chair to be sat down because let's be honest, I'm going to be out here a long time. So yeah, in all fairness, I'm now sat in it, and it's so nice. It's just so nice. I could probably fall asleep in this chair. I'm going to be honest, but I don't want you all to hear me snoring. And actually, it's been proven now I do snore. Yeah, I know, but when there's proof, there's proof. You can't deny it at that point. You've just got to accept it. It is what it is. I snore. I don't think I'm like a wounded rhino, but there might be a little bit of extra, shall we say? But even so, uh, is what it is. We all get there, don't we? Let's be totally honest. Now, as far as the week's gone, in terms of MS type stuff, the issues that I was having the new one, it's kind of dissipated. It's gone. I'm doing okay now. Not so much of an issue. But for some reason, I've gone deaf in my left ear. Not completely. I've got a bit of hearing on there, but not much at all. And I'm going to be honest, it's very, very awkward. Now, currently Sunday, so nowhere's going to be open, but I am, and I've got every intention. Tomorrow, I'm going to contact someone and try and get me ear looked at because I really am struggling. I'm going to be honest, I'm really struggling with not being able to hear. So again, I'm going to get that looked into, and it's going to be a lot better, hopefully. I can't guarantee that's going to be an MS issue. I really don't think it is. I have to say that. I think it's probably just a bit of something and nothing, but you just never know. Um, I kind of had a bit of an issue the other day, actually, where we went shopping. Now, when we went shopping, I had my FES machine on, and I had it clipped on to my pocket of my jeans, which is where I always have it. But I hadn't realised it had got tangled around the seatbelt in the car. So, trying to get out of the car, what then happened was the FES machine went flying. Immediately, I panicked that I'd probably broke the machine itself. I'm going to be honest, I really did panic because, as I've said, I rely on that thing massively. It really does help me so much, it's unreal. But thankfully, got picked up and there was no obvious damage. I plugged it back in, nothing. Nothing happened at all. It was very, very worrying. So I then had to walk from the car park to the toilet in the shop to try and figure out what had gone on. Now I got in there and one of the wires it had come out, so I'd managed to reconnect it. Um, Plugged it all back in, absolutely nothing, still nothing at all. And walking back to go and meet everyone, to go and do the shopping, I noticed in that very short walk from the car to the toilet, foot drop had taken another trainer. Yep, my right trainer, nice big hole. I've not had them trainers long. Really not had them long at all. So when I looked at that, I was a little bit gutted. I'm going to be honest, I was really, really gutted because they weren't cheap. I could say they weren't cheap at all. Quite a pricey pair of trainers, but it's one of those things. So I will have to replace them. Thankfully, once I'd got back in the car, I did manage to figure out what had gone wrong, and I got the machine working again. Yes, I was actually very, very pleased because, in all truth, like I've just said, I rely on that thing massively. My foot drop on the right hand side is awful. It really is bad. It's dangerous. So actually, it's a real good thing. And going forward, I need to remember to keep it unplugged and off my belt, off my pocket, wherever I've got it. I just need to keep it off while I'm in the car because I don't want to take that risk again. I'm going to be honest. It's something I don't fancy trying because it just, yeah, it worried me. On a good note, we got together on Saturday yesterday. We had a family barbecue, which was really good, really really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good to see everyone. Bit of decent food. You can't beat food cooked on a barbecue. I've got to say that. I'm just such a big fan. It's unreal. We've had a nice bit of weather the last few days, so it was kind of rude not to take advantage, I think. So yeah, we got together and we sat. Finished the evening actually. It was really nice. We've got some garden furniture, and part of that garden furniture is it's like a gas fire. and plugged in. So Rich and Dad, they plugged it in, and yeah, it was lovely. Sat there, had a coffee, chatting away with a fire going. Oh, it was beautiful, really lovely. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, no, it was nice to be able to get together and do that. I got to be honest, really did enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, MS wise, not really been that bad this week. I'm going to be honest, not been that bad at all. Tiredness is giving me a real good kicking. And yeah, I felt a bit ropey. I'm going to be honest, but at the same time, it's not been terrible. It's not been unmanageable. It's actually been something that I can cope with quite well. And yeah, I've been okay. Not been bad at all. Um, what I am noticing, and this is sort of coming away from the MS side of things, what I am noticing with regards to this show, we're starting to get picked up literally all over the world now. I mean, don't get me wrong, and this been worldwide since day one, but we're sort of plodding along. We really are plodding along. And it's so good to see all these new places that show up and whatever else. I just can't believe it. You know, little old me sitting talking about things I'm going through and whatever else, and people are actually listening. And as far as I can tell, enjoying. By all means, tell me if I'm wrong there. I've got no problem with that. But yeah, I mean, it's so good to see. It really is. And yeah, no, I must admit, it puts a smile on my face. But yeah, sort of going back to the talking about the bits I'm doing to keep ticking over. While I'm sat here, and I'm sat, I've got my camera there, I've got my laptop, and each week at the moment, I'm sort of figuring out new things and new ways of doing stuff. And again, I mean, I'd never really thought about sitting how I'm sat now with the microphone in my hand rather than on the stand. And it is genuinely more comfortable. It really is. I've sort of got to remember that I'm not looking at the laptop. I'm supposed to be looking at the camera because I've got the camera slightly offset from the laptop. And when I did this the other day, I did it a different place and whatever else. Um, but actually, it's so much easier, and it's giving me that a bit more confidence. I'm going to be honest. It's giving me a bit more confidence, being able to sit more comfortably rather than sort of leaning forward and whatever else. Yeah. So in all fairness, I hope that comes across actually, because I do feel better. I feel a bit more relaxed rather than uptight. But in terms of the streaming stuff, again, as I've said, and all joking aside on this one, with regards to what MS has caused in terms of taking away my ability to go out to work, in terms of my ability to go out without sticks and whatever else, or my mobility scooter, wheelchair, all of that stuff. Doing these other bits and pieces that I've got, I mean, I've talked about it before. You've got the social media, you've got the streaming that I'm now doing, and again, I've purchased all the bits to do the streaming properly. I've not spent massive amount of money. I'm going to be totally fair. I've bought the basic equipment. Maybe one day, if that starts taking off, maybe I will then improve on things. But again, you've got all of the sort of stuff, the social media, the in this podcast. I'm trying to improve each and everything. But actually, again, it's all keeping me ticking over. It's all keeping my brain fresh. It's keeping me able to have things to focus on. And it is such a good thing. It's a piece of advice um, that I would give anyone in this situation. I really would. And that piece of advice is just try and keep yourself going. It's not hard. It's it's one of those things where if you can think of something, even if you're not able to get up and get out, even if you could hold a piece of paper and a pen or whatever else, try writing things down. If you've got your mobile phone, try talking into your mobile phone. Play a game, whatever. Do a puzzle, anything like that. Try and keep your brain going. And again, it will not work for everyone. I will never say things that I suggest would work for anyone. But if they work for one person, it's been successful. And in all truth, for my point of view, keeping myself available to do things, keeping myself able to find things to do. And again, not everyone is going to want to sit and play computer games. I get that. Writing, reading, absolutely anything that can keep your brain ticking over is worth doing. It really is worth doing. And I know that might sound a bit very simplistic, but honestly, if you're able to give it a try, please do. And just see how you get on. And maybe at some point you will find that one thing that will make you click and go, yeah, okay, this keeps me going. This keeps my brain ticking over. It gives me something to look forward to enjoy. Because if we're able to enjoy things, it might just help. I'd never say get rid of, because it won't, but it might just help slightly suppress some of the negativity. Because with this condition, negativity is so easy to feel, because it is nothing but negative. It's as simple as that. It is nothing but negative. You can't say anything positive about this condition. But if you can find some good, have a look for it. See if you can find it and grab it with both hands and trying to find a way to keep that going for you. Just my piece of advice. That's all I can say to that. It's just my piece of advice. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, not so good. But worth having a try. Finally today, I managed to do something on my website that I'd been struggling with in a few weeks. And again, I've mentioned it myself, my dad, my brother. We're going down to London for the MS Society's walk. We're doing the 5K. Let's be honest, I probably won't even do 500 yards. But I'll be in my wheelchair and the 5K will get done with me in the wheels. But if you are able to sponsor, what I have managed to do is actually manage to get the link to Just Giving on my website. That's mikesmsjourney.com. And there is a section there called Fundraising for MS. If you've got any ability at all to donate to that cause, please feel free to do so. It doesn't matter how much, just the smallest little amount. Massively, massively grateful if you can. Because, again, from my point of view, I turned to the MS Society right at the very start when I was first told about MS, and I got nothing but incredible help. I mean, I was probably talking utter rubbish at times to them. I really was. They listened, and they was just there. They did not rush to get off a phone, nothing at all. They were just there to try and support. And I'll be honest with you, without that support and the family support, I would not be where I am now. That's cold hard fact. I would not be where I am now. So from my point of view, anything I can do to help any of these fundraising events, I'm prepared to do. Anyone that's watching on YouTube will see that one of the things I've done in the studio on the door, I've started putting medals up. And I've got 3 medals sat there currently. 2 from the MS Society, 1 from last year's walk, and 1 from the walk in February. And also my winner's medal from when I was playing 6-a-side football. But again, the more medals I get, the more will go up there, because that's going to be my sort of my bit of pride, having a bit of pride in what I've done to try and help, and go from there. But yeah, if you are able, as I say, I'd be eternally grateful. I really would, and I know the charity would be grateful. By all means, onto my website, mikesmsjourney.com, fundraising for MS, and there is just a little button. You don't have to, there's no link as such. It's just a little button that says Just Giving. If you click that, it will take you through, and then you just follow through the instructions. Well, I want to thank you all for listening. Again, I mean, I've recorded this podcast quite late, actually. It is now 11:05 at night, and I'm still sat out in the studio. I've now got the work to do to get this all all set up, ready to go. And then I've got some streaming to do. I'm going to do some streaming into the early hours, not massively, because I'll be half asleep. I'm going to be honest, I will be as good as out. But that's what we got to do. That's what I'm trying to do. This is what's keeping me going, and I'm going to enjoy it. Well, again, thank you very much. Massively appreciate you listening, and I will speak to you all really soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.